AirPods Pro 3 might be just around the corner, launching alongside iPhone 17 and Apple Watch Series 11 on September 9. But according to a fresh report from 9to5Mac, not everything Apple's planned with these new AirPods may be ready in time. An anonymous tipster who got in touch with 9to5Mac claims AirPods Pro 3 is going to ship with not one but two new health sensors, heart rate monitoring and in-ear temperature sensing. Heart rate tracking has been rumored for years, and after appearing on the Beats Power Beats Pro 2, its addition here feels almost inevitable. Temperature sensing meanwhile wasn't confirmed before, but I'm glad it could be coming, giving AirPods another role as a health and wellness tool. Apple has already started down this path with AirPods Pro gaining hearing test and clinical grade hearing aid features last year, but here's the bad news: one of the most hyped features, live translation, may not be ready at launch. Bloomberg's Mark Gurman has been reporting for some time that Apple wants AirPods to handle real-time translation, and 9to5Mac even spotted code in iOS 26 that hints of features being developed, yet this anonymous source claims the functionality won't be shipping with AirPods Pro 3 at release, instead arriving later through a software update. That might sound like a letdown, but I have my doubts it's going to be delayed since so much of this feature has already been found in code. Inside iOS 26 Beta 6, imagery was found showing AirPods surrounded by the word hello in multiple languages, with references to activating translation using a double press. The file itself is literally called Translate. I feel like we wouldn't find so many direct references and direct hints to this feature if it wasn't launching soon, especially hints to it in the first version of iOS 26, which launches to the public in just a few weeks. And so in my opinion, it makes perfect sense for Apple to roll this out with AirPods Pro 3 in September. Yes, the hearing aid feature was delayed and was launched a few months after it was announced, but I don't think that's going to be the case with live translation. And this is just my inkling, by the way, I could be wrong. I have no source to back this up, but I just have a feeling it's not going to be delayed. What's also interesting is that this looks set to work with not just AirPods Pro 3, but also AirPods Pro 2 and AirPods 4, so you don't necessarily need to buy the new AirPods to try this out. Translation is likely tied to Apple Intelligence though, so you'll need an iPhone that supports that. Now let's shift to another leak that all but confirms AirPods Pro 3 are real. Apple recently updated part of its Bluetooth syncing database, and tucked away in there was a brand new identifier, 8239. For context, AirPods Pro 2 with Type-C are coded as 8228, so 8239 is definitely something new. Most analysts believe this points directly to AirPods Pro 3, especially since the timing lines up perfectly. Not everyone is convinced though. Analyst Jeff Bu has been suggesting Apple's going to delay AirPods Pro 3 till 2026, pushing the release to coincide with iPhone 18 and Apple Watch Series 12. But that doesn't match what others are saying. Mark Gurman maintains they're coming this year, and code detective Steve Mosser previously spotted references to Pro 3 in earlier iOS 26 betas. Personally, I think a 2025 launch fits Apple's rhythm better. AirPods Pro launched in 2019, the second gen arrived in 2022, that's a 3-year cycle. By that logic, 2025 is the sweet spot. With Apple's September event right around the corner, the Bluetooth identifier showing up, and multiple reliable sources pointing in the same direction, the stars are definitely aligning. We also recently got case leaks for AirPods Pro 3, showing us a slightly more compact case and capacitive pairing button, which again suggests they're launching soon. And it seems Apple needs AirPods Pro 3 to launch because, while rumors heat up a new code leak surface, fresh market data from not just one but two major research firms paint a broader picture of why AirPods Pro 3 are so important, not just for Apple fans, but for Apple's position in the increasingly competitive global audio space. Before I dive deeper though, quick reminder, if you're enjoying this breakdown, don't forget to subscribe. We're on the road to 20,000 subscribers, and hitting that button helps me keep you in the loop with every Apple leak and launch the second it drops. There's also a new hype button on YouTube that helps small channels like this one, so clicking that would be appreciated as well. Anyway, according to Counterpoint Research, Apple still leads the premium wireless earbuds market, even as total global shipments are projected to grow just 3% in 2025. That's a serious slowdown compared to the explosive growth over the last few years. Cheaper brands like Xiaomi and JBL are dominating the under $50 space, while Sony, Bose and Samsung are holding strong in the premium segment. But in terms of revenue, Apple remains on top, with AirPods Pro being the main reason why. Counterpoint even identifies the upcoming AirPods Pro 3 as one of the key drivers for Apple to hold on to that crown over the next 12 to 18 months. Now zooming into the US, CRP data shows 44% of iPhone users report using Bluetooth earbuds, up slightly from 41% last year, and of those users, 59% are using AirPods. That means roughly 26% of all iPhone users in the US today are using AirPods. That's a huge share, but growth has leveled off. Apple's holding steady, not expanding, which is exactly why AirPods Pro 3 matters so much. They need a headline product to re-energize the category, and Apple knows it. Just last month, AirPods Pro 2 was slashed to $149 during Amazon Prime Day, a $100 drop from their usual $249. Best Buy and Walmart quickly matched the deal even though Apple itself kept the standard price. Discounts that steep aren't random, it's a sign that Apple's clearing shelves for what comes next. So what can we actually expect with AirPods Pro 3 upgrades wise? Well, design wise, don't expect a radical reinvention. The stem is here to stay, it's not just a design choice, it's functional housing sensors and enabling pin gestures. In fact, Apple's doubled down on its usefulness with camera remote triggering on iPhone. More realistically, we'll see subtle refinements, smaller sensors, a slimmer profile, a slightly more compact case as suggested by recent case leaks, and similar to AirPods 4, these should have a hidden LED and capacitive button. Color options would be great, a matte black version would fly off shelves instantly, even a navy blue or deep green would refresh the lineup, but Apple has been stubbornly committed to white, which has been part of the AirPods brand identity. So unless Apple pulls a surprise, don't count on it. Inside, however, things do get interesting. AirPods Pro 3 are expected to debut the H3 chipset, the successor to the H2. That means faster performance, more advanced noise cancellation, better transparency, and improved spatial audio. More importantly, the chip should also improve power efficiency, meaning longer battery life. One of the few areas where AirPods Pro still lag behind competitors like Sony's WF-1000 XM5s. But the biggest talking point remains health tracking, as I talked about at the beginning of the video. Heart rate monitoring and temperature sensing could turn AirPods Pro 3 into the first mainstream earbuds with meaningful health features. For users who don't wear an Apple Watch, this could be their first taste of Apple's health ecosystem. Imagine AirPods nudging you when your heart rate spikes during a run, or quietly logging your temperature throughout the day. For illness detection, fitness tracking, or even fertility awareness, these features could be game-changing. That said, we should temper expectations. Temperature sensor particularly has only been reported by this 9to5Mac source to be definitely coming, but other more credible sources haven't said anything about it recently, so we shall see who ends up being right about the final feature set. Then there's live translation. This feature, if it works well, could be revolutionary. Imagine traveling abroad and holding a natural conversation with someone in another language, and with your AirPods quietly bridging the gap. Apple already has translation across iOS 26 and FaceTime, but bringing this to AirPods makes it hands-free and instant. And if Apple ties this into Apple Intelligence, AirPods Pro 3 could become the most compelling showcase of its AI vision outside of the iPhone. Pricing is where things get tricky. AirPods Pro 2 launched at $249, same as the original Pro, but if Apple adds the H3 chipset, health sensors, and possibly live translation, I wouldn't be surprised if we see a price increase to $279 or $299. Apple could justify it by pitching these as both premium earbuds and a wellness device. On the other hand, Apple's kept some products surprisingly affordable lately, like the base iPads, so it really could go either way. So now the big question is, should you upgrade? If you're using the original AirPods Pro, this is going to be a massive leap, so definitely yes. Better sound, better battery life, better health features. If you're already on AirPods Pro 2, the decision hinges on how much you value in heart rate tracking, temperature sensing, and potentially live translation. For many, those features are going to be worth it, so for existing AirPods Pro users, this definitely will be worth the upgrades. And that's where Apple's playing its long game. AirPods aren't just about audio anymore, they're part of the Apple ecosystem, part of your health toolkit, and soon, part of your AI-powered daily workflow. I know people generally hate AI being shoved in their faces now, but if live translation actually works really well, then that is going to be a game changer definitely. So what do you think? Are you planning to upgrade to AirPods Pro 3? Which feature excites you the most? Health tracking, live translation, or just the promise of better sound? Let me know in the comments, and if you made it to the end, thank you. Smash that like button and hype button, hit subscribe for more deep dives, and I'll catch you in the next one.